all the buttons do. Ooh. See, I can share a picture. Boom, there's me. Hey. This was a while ago. My honeydew shawl. Can I take that off now? Stop sharing. Yep. I don't go live very often, can you tell? What is it? Whoa. Nope. All right, yeah, no. I'm not a fan of all the filters. Okay. I wanted to hop on today because I wanted to let you know what you get when you do buy one of my patterns. Oh, I thought I lost my stack already. The joys of a scaffolding. I recently printed off every single one of my patterns. It is double-sided so that I can go through and I can show you here because my honeydew shawl, man, that pattern was a hot mess, and I'm sorry for anybody who purchased this one, but this is part of what goes along with buying my patterns is that I'm constantly, not constantly, but I do make sure that things are up to date. If there are errors, I try to get back to them and fix them. If it is, I'm noticing a lot of people having the same questions, then I'll go back and I'll clear things up. So I've gone through, printed off all of my patterns, and I tore them apart one by one, and I want to make sure that they all have the same layout. Thank you, Lindsay. Feeling good these days, so I want to keep it up. The sun's shining, and getting a few moments of quiet. Of course, my dog was sleeping when I started this, and he's getting pretty old. We're at a hard stage in life, so I'm sorry for all the clicking. He just kind of spins in circles right now. Keep our family in your thoughts because the next couple days we have to make a pretty hard family decision. Anywho, so what the reason why I'm going through all my patterns is to make sure that they're all kind of standardized. With each pattern, the formatting was all just a little bit different. Stitches were explained just a little bit differently. And so I want to just make sure that everything's kind of streamlined so you know that when you're getting my pattern, you're going to get the same thing each time. And one thing that I'll have a cover page, a picture of the pattern, and a little quick description. I do use a large font. I am somebody that if I'm referencing a pattern, I want to be able to look quickly and keep going. And if I have to zoom in and out or if I print it and grab a paper and have to get nose deep in it, I just don't have time for it. So I do use a larger font, bigger spacing as a way that you don't have to put down your work. Thank you, Lindsay. Put down your work to check your spot in the pattern, basically. Obviously, a table of contents. This in the inside is, when you open this online, it's a link to my website. There's a link to my Facebook crochet along group, which that is where it's the best place to ask questions if you have questions. I know Facebook's not for everybody. It's not my favorite place as far as where I want to spend my time, but it is the two places. Ravelry isn't my favorite, but it has the best updating system. So if you know something better where people can purchase patterns from me, and when there's an update, I can send out the update to everybody, please let me know because I would love something that's inclusive. Same with Facebook. Facebook's group feature, I think, is fantastic when it's used safely. And my Facebook group is a safe place. If something makes you feel uncomfortable, please reach out to me and I will make that stop right away. So anywho, there'll be a link to my group, and this one isn't exactly, the formatting's a little different. There'll also be the title of the pattern at the top of each page. So I'll definitely pass that information on to you, Lindsay, as well. It'll have the title of the pattern at the top of each page, so that's easy to remember. And then the bottom will have a page count, so in case you drop it or whatever. So we've got table of contents. there's a page called the details. This paper is really shiny, so if it's hard to see, the details, this is where I will include any yarn information, hook information. I talk about intellectual property. I guess there's a finite number of ideas out there in the world, and sometimes our patterns look like somebody else's. And if it appears like I have taken somebody's pattern, or you feel that way, let me know. If you feel it's the other way around, that somebody else is intentionally selling stuff, just shoot an email, Facebook message, Instagram message, whatever it may be. So anyhow, it talks about that. It talks about my affiliate links, which may be throughout the pattern. If there's any extra information, like the honeydew shawl has information about like how to pick colors. You want the X stitches to be a different color, contrasting colors, that kind of thing. And I label things funny because that's what I do. I'm just weird like that. So the next thing, and again, this is why I printed out all my patterns, because there are some formatting issues. This part is called Same Stuff, Different Pattern. And this is where I talk about how to read my patterns. There isn't a standard in the world, unfortunately. And actually, fortunately, that works out, because people who have brainos like mine have a place they can find somebody who writes like their brain. But it's all detailed here on how to read the patterns and anything, how I label things within the pattern. I want to put all of this information here so that once you get flowing, there's not all that extra information within the pattern itself, because a lot of my work is repetitive. Once you get the flow of it, you just go back and kind of like, oh, do I do 2 here or 4 here? That kind of thing. You could do a quick glance. So one of the things that I also have is footnotes in my pattern. So you'll come across something that, where is it on here? All right, there'll be a small number at the end of something, and that will tell you to go down to footnote number 1. And footnote number 1 will tell you, don't look at my broken nail, I gotta get that fixed tomorrow. Same stitch, different pattern, number 11. So then you know where to go, look at number 11 and go, oh, that's what that means. That's a clarification. You will also get and again, because this is a printout, it's not all in the exact same format. I just want to explain what's inside of my patterns. You will get a page of stitches and any of the stitches that need to be defined. I am working through to get videos uploaded onto YouTube of some of my trickier ones. And it's just, I didn't have the time until the kids were in school. So fingers crossed that the kids are able to stay in school and I can work on that project over the next few months. So then we've got our stitches defined. This one, throwback to my first concert ever. There will be a page of the new notes on the block. Of course, now I'm going to be singing New Kids on the Block for the rest of the day, but don't mind me. Maybe I'll put that on. This one doesn't, the pattern that I pulled out did not have very much information on it, so let me find a different one. Okay, so this one, the new notes on the block, this will be specific notes to this pattern. So if there is corners that are a little different, if there are color changing tips, anything that is very specific to that pattern, the same stuff, different pattern, that's going to be the same throughout all my patterns. Maybe a tweak, like my triangle scarves are going to be a little bit different because they're not worked in the round. My bags will be a little bit different because they're bags. Blankets will be a standard thing too. But the new notes on the block, again, these will be what's referenced in the footnotes at the bottom, specific to this pattern. And then the meat of it all is the reason you're here. And this will be where the pattern's at. Again, you can see there's little footnotes down here, nice large fonts. I believe there's ways to change that if you want to make it a little bit more printer friendly. Most of mine aren't awful, or you could always just print out the reason you're here. And then there'll be final notes, and that's what comes in a pattern. So not only are you getting the directions for the specific pattern, you are getting how to read my pattern. There is tons of support in my Facebook group. That's the best place to go because you have other people who have made my patterns as well. Where did this go? So yes, I am working through this big old stack to make sure that everything is looking good. So as I do that, and you've purchased patterns before, then you'll want to check out your Ravelry library. I'll send out a message to your PayPal, your email, and your Ravelry account once updates happen. And be sure to read through those because there's usually a coupon code for anywhere between 25 to 50% off the next pattern. Just depends on what my brain says that day. I can't always guarantee that. So while I work through these, I hope you guys are having a wonderful September. It's a gorgeous blue day outside, so I may take my yarn and go sit somewhere sunny and listen to some fun music. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I don't know how to end this. Do I just hit the X? I'm guessing. Bye.